Hello everyone, my name is Rafal and welcome to my vlog. So before I jump into today's vlog, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who recently participated in my headshot photography workshop in Atlanta. I had so much fun working with you guys. You know who you are. I hope this workshop was valuable for you and you've learned something new which gives you new ideas and new perspective on headshots. Also, I want to say big thank you to the models, and also big thank you to the owners of Primetime Studio. You guys allow me to use your amazing space to run this workshop, and this event wouldn't be as much successful without your help and your support and making this whole thing possible. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to helping me out, because as I said, I don't even have words to describe how appreciated I am. Okay, so let's jump into today's vlog, and today I want to talk about something that I've been bombarded quite a bit over the last several months, and I want to talk about my creative photo shoots. I've been asked from so many of you guys why I'm doing those creative shoots, what's the purpose behind it, who's paying for them, and why I'm doing those shoots over and over again. And I'm just kind of keep basically pushing the content with my creative photo shoots. So I just want to actually talk a little bit about it. I just want to break this whole thing into some smaller parts so you guys have a little bit of better understanding what's the purpose behind it, why they're so important for me. So I have like 8 points which I'm going to go through step by step. Basically, I just want to explain to you what's the reason behind it, and I hope this vlog will give you a little bit of better perspective why I'm doing those creative photo shoots. On the top of that, I'm going to share with you guys some of the behind the scenes from my recent creative photo shoot to kind of give you a little bit better understanding from kind of a little bit of visual side of photo shoots. So let's jump into those points and let's discuss this step by step. So the point number 1 is to keep your portfolio fresh. We're living in an era where we constantly need to keep our portfolio fresh. Back in the days, we could have, I don't know, 20, 30 photos. We could put them on the website and we would be good for, I would say, couple of years. We wouldn't have to do much. Nowadays, it's a little bit of a different story. We need to keep your portfolio fresh. We need to kind of show our clients new stuff, and also we want to keep our website interesting, and those creative shoots, they definitely allow you to basically keep updating your stuff with new images. And this is extremely important, because if you don't do that, your clients probably, they're not going to go to your website, they're not going to go to your social media pages when you basically don't post anything. Plus, on the top of that, I also want to mention that sometimes I'm pushing the boundaries when it comes to the creative photo shoots and creating things which normally nobody would hire me to do those. But at the same time, the more creative stuff you're putting out there and the more interesting they are, it's gonna attract more clients to you and to your work. Just because you're doing some, let's say, some Halloween stuff, or you're doing some flowers in the hair, or you're doing some interesting backgrounds, that doesn't mean that corporate world is not gonna see those things and not gonna ask like, hey, are you doing maybe the corporate stuff? And then you can direct them to, let's say, the other page of your website where you can actually show them some of your corporate work. But I found that creative work definitely attracts potential clients, and this is something that is extremely important for me, and that's how I actually push my work to the world, because I know the more creative stuff I do, the more response and there's more interest in what I do. So this is one of the first and also one of the most important reason why I'm doing those creative photo shoots. So the point number 2 is learn and practice photography. I found that photography is pretty much like working out. If you work out, let's say, once a month, it's basically you're going to be out of shape. And that's, I think, the same applies to photography. If you constantly shoot and you constantly work on your skills, you're gonna get better, and you're gonna have a little bit of better understanding on what you're doing. I remember back in the days when I was shooting weddings, after, let's say, my season was over and I was just putting my camera away for, let's say, 2-3 months till the next season kicks in. My first few weddings were horrible because I was just basically the way I was seeing the world, the way I was shooting, I was just have to get back into the shape for shooting my weddings. And I think the same applies to headshots. If you basically shoot headshot session once a month, you're gonna be struggling with this whole thing all the time because you need to practice. You need to practice your lighting, you need to practice your setting, you need to practice some kind of new ideas. So that's why whenever I have a time and whenever I have, let's say, a little bit space between my shoots, then I'm jumping in with some creative stuff, because that's what keeps me going, that's what keeps me in the shape, and that's what allows me to basically keep practicing photography, because as I said, this is something where we need to just constantly working on to be better at it and just as I said, keep in shape. So that's the point number 2. So let's jump into the point number 3, which is exploring new ideas and concept. This is another thing which I found extremely important, because you don't want to, I would say, practice or try new things on your paid photo shoots, because if something goes wrong, then you're probably gonna get in trouble, because with those paid shoots you need to do sessions which you're 100% sure everything's gonna work. And those creative shows, this is something where you can actually just go a little bit wild and you can actually try things for yourself, and if it's gonna work, you can apply them to your paid shoots. If they don't want to work, you can keep working on it till you find a solution how to make this work. And this is, I would say, the best time to practice some of those things, because this is the time where you can put your thoughts and you can experiment into something which normally you wouldn't do on those, as I said, paid photo shoots. And that's how I actually work on those creative photo shoots. I always try to implement something new, something which I think it might work. I'm not sure about it, because nobody gets paid on those creative shoots. There's no harm. I can test it, I can try it, and I can figure out what works. So this is, as I said, the best way to not only learn photography, but also try new ideas and new concepts, because the other time, I don't think this is the best idea to try it. So this is another big important factor why I'm doing those creative photo shoots, because that's what pushing my creative work to another level, and then later on I can actually go to my paid photo shoots and I know how to make things work. Okay, so let's jump into the next point: new and fresh content for social media. So I talked a little bit about this at the beginning. You definitely need new content all the time for your website and your portfolio, and also for social media. And social media nowadays is such a kind of beast. Like, you cannot really post one image once a month, because again, nobody's going to respond to it, nobody's going to care. We need to keep pushing the content. So those creative photo shoots also allows you to create something interesting for all your platforms, and you can create videos because you have time for this, you can create new images, so you can create all bunch of different content in order to push your social media. And again, on the paid photo shoot, let's say you shoot in corporate, there's no time for putting videos together or doing all those crazy stuff. On the creative sessions, definitely I always have my little camera where I'm doing behind the scenes. I can also create some additional content, plus those images itself can be a great example of cool content for your social media. So this is another, I would say, important factor of why I'm doing those creative photo shoots, because that's giving me a lot of content which I can push it through different channels and attract some potential clients. So remember that this is not only just for my portfolio, but also something what I'm creating for my audience and my clients. So again, this is something which is extremely valuable for the long run. So the point number 5 is building your team. This is another, I would say, very, very important factor which allows you to basically get the people you want to work with. Again, you don't want to work with the team on your paid photo shoots which you don't know, people who you never, I would say, have any experiences working together. You cannot really trust them. So I always invite different people to my creative photo shoots, because that allows me to basically build up the team and see how they work, what I can actually expect for them, how they interact with each other, what's the quality of their work. So this is something, again, extremely important, because on those creative photo shoots where nobody's get paid, and there is definitely tryout time for all of us to see what we can kind of expect from each other and what kind of quality of work we are getting. So then when we get those paid photo shoots, I know which people I can bring to the table and introduce them to my clients, because I know that team will do the great work. And again, the creative part is something where we can train, we can practice, we can actually work together and come up with concept, come up with ideas, and then I feel much more confident on those paid photo shoots where I have team behind me which I can 100% trust, and I know what I can expect from them throughout those photo shoots. So this is extremely important part. So if you, let's say, working in an area where you want to build up the team, this is the best way to try them and see how they work, and can actually get group of people where you can do all sorts of different cool stuff, and then you can kind of push them throughout your paid clients, and you will see your work will be better, your client's going to be much more happier. So there's so many different benefits in order to make this possible. The point number 6 is pushing boundaries with creativity. And again, we talk a little bit about it, but I just want to kind of mention that those creative photo shoots definitely allow me to try new things, which typically I would never try on those paid photo shoots where I don't have a time, I have to work quickly, and I don't want to do things which I'm not 100% sure it's going to work. And those creative photo shoots, this is the best thing for pushing those boundaries and pushing different ideas, because that's what's gonna make your work unique, and also you can actually build up your, I would say, ideas, and you can come up with different concepts and try them out. This is one of the reasons. I don't want to harp on this too much. I've talked a little bit before so you guys understand this whole thing. But again, those creative photo shoots definitely allows you to pretty much do anything you want. The craziest idea you can have, you can push it through, you can try it, and see how this whole thing works. So please do this, because this is what's going to make you not only better photographer, but also you're going to have way better understanding how the lighting works, how some of those things kind of work together. And as a photographer, this is extremely important, because that's how you build up your knowledge, you build up your skills, and that's what's going to basically take you to completely different level as a photographer. So the point number 7 is doing something useful during those dry months. And we all have them. We all kind of going through some stages when we have no clients. And again, instead sitting at home and pretty much complaining how, you know, this industry is bad, or arguing with people on social media how difficult this industry is, this is the best time to push those creative photo shoots, because that not only kind of keep you busy, but also kind of takes your mind off being, I would say, you know, negative and being kind of depressed because there's nothing going on. You're doing something useful, you're doing something creative, you're pushing your content, you're creating something, I would say, very interesting, and you just don't know where this whole thing is gonna take you, because you might have some dry months and there's no clientele, there's no business, and you start doing those creative photo shoots, you start pushing this whole thing through social media, and who knows, you might get some new clients. And that happened to me many times, and that's why I never try to kind of like sit on my butt and just do nothing whenever I have a free time, and I never have like situation where, let's say, I have nothing going on for, let's say, a week or 2 weeks. I always push those creative photo shoots, because that's definitely is gonna bring you something valuable, gonna bring you something interesting for your business, and I can guarantee you that you will get some clients from doing those creative photo shoots. It's just something that you have to just kind of put this in the schedule, build up the team, and just keep working on it, and you will see this whole thing's gonna work out. So that leads me to the next point: collaboration with other businesses. So let's say, again, let's go back to what I was saying. If you, let's say, have no business going on and you have no clients, you can approach different businesses and basically offer them, hey, I'm doing those creative photo shoots, would you be interesting to collaborate? And that's, again, amazing tool to build up new relationship, build up some new potential clients. And I can tell you from my perspective that I've done so many creative photo shoots for free, which leads me to some paid clients. So you approach them and you basically tell them, hey, I'm a headshot photographer, I want to do, let's say, I don't know, business looks, or I want to do something creative, would you be interested to collaborate? And don't have any expectation at the beginning, because if you approach someone and say like, hey, I'm looking for a client and would you mind and pay me for the photo shoot, then automatically you're gonna basically put the red flag on what you're doing. But you need to kind of build up this kind of relationship first. So doing a little bit for free at the beginning, and then if the client will like the photos, who knows, they might recommend you to someone else, or they might push you to some, I would say, other ideas, and that's definitely is gonna bring you the business. Doesn't work all the time, but I can tell you 50-50. As I said, I've done some photo shoots where I invite several different businesses, and then later on, a few months down the road, they invite me to, let's say, shoot their headshots, or they have some campaigns going on and they needed photographer. So that's why you need to be kind of like approachable, and you need to actually put your name out there and try to do things with different businesses, and you will see the results will start coming. Okay, I was harping a lot about it. I hope that was interesting, and I hope you guys like what I was all those points. If you have anything else you would like to add to this, please feel free to write a comment or send me a message. I'm always looking forward to hear from you guys. In the meanwhile, thank you guys for watching that long, and stay tuned, and I'll be in touch with you guys very soon. Bye bye.